October 7th, 1955. Seattle is cool, chilly. A nice autumn breeze billows through the streets, carrying a few disoriented autumn leaves between townhouses and storefronts. Space Needle has not yet been constructed. The city waits for its crowning achievement. Mathias, you are face down in a pool of your own blood, ribs cracked, teeth loosened, fingers broken. There's a gang of 5 men standing over you in the alleyway, cracking knuckles, spitting on the pavement. One of them holds a lead pipe in their hands and growls something like, "You just couldn't leave well enough alone, you fucking stupid assistant of yours." Try and say something.
I think he tries to, but he just ends up coughing out blood.
The gang thugs laugh. One of them kicks you in the side. And one of them looks to the leader and says, "Trent, we should get out of here before someone comes looking. People know his face." And Trent looks down at you with disdain, as if wondering whether or not to stomp out a bug in the heel of his boot. He opens his mouth to say something, but before the words come out, something grabs the back of his coat and lifts him into the air. What's going? And he is flung across the alleyway into the brick wall of the cocktail lounge you just left. Cracking the bricks.
Whoa.
Hits the ground. Several of his bones snap instantly. And the rest of the gang turn in a panic, raising their fists. The one guy with the lead pipe is holding it quivering. "What? Who the fuck is that?" And again, nothing visible, but something slams into his stomach, and he doubles over, immediately vomiting up what remains of his dinner, drops the lead pipe, it clatters through the pavement, and he collapses over onto his side, and the rest of the gang instantly scatter. A figure shimmers into view, kind of stepping out of the darkness, unmelting from the shadows, and seems to be coming toward you, but instead turns, picks up the man who had the lead pipe in one hand, holds him close, and plants fangs in his neck. Drinks freely, drops him with a thud, and then turns and looks at you.
Mathias' eyes are just wide, and he is trying to move, but he can't.
No. We got broken bones. Don't risk it.
What are you going to do?
The man steps forward. You see he's wearing this long, thick trench coat, trilby hat, looks like a detective out of a noir movie. And as he tips his face up to the light, you see disgusting face scarred with warts.
Oh, God.
Sharp teeth hanging out of his mouth, and ears like a bat's. And he just kind of tilts his head, looks at you, says, "Saving your life, mate. You're that magician, ain't you?"
Mathias' eyes just kind of dart back and forth, like, what?
He reaches up, cuts his finger on one of those extended teeth, and holds it over your mouth. He says, Tongue, give me your tongue."
Not really wanting to have this creature tear out his throat like he bit the other guy. He sticks out his tongue nervously.
A couple drops of blood hit your tongue, and you feel this rush of energy as the sweet sensation fills your body. You don't heal all your wounds, but you do feel your ribs sort of set back in place, the scratches on your face kind of mending. And he goes, "Saw your show. Things you do, mortal man. It's impressive. Been around a long time and never seen anything like that."
Thank you.
He helps you to your feet. His hand is clammy and cracked like his face. "Name's Podrick. Got a question for you."
Just saved my life, I guess, so shoot.
"What if I told you you could delve into the darkness, learn some real magic, real secrets? Immortality is a side benefit. That sound like something you might be interested in?"
Mathias just kind of blinks and shakes his head in awe of what he's saying. What do you mean?
"Think it over. Meet me here tomorrow night. You want to take me up on it?" And with that, he steps back into the shadows, vanishes into darkness.
I think for a second, Mathias is just staring in the space that he was before he touches his side and feels his ribs and the pain is still there a little bit, but incredibly just dulled, and just stares.
You head home, hard to sleep with what you just saw. Did you even really see it, the way he flung those men across the alleyway without even exerting himself? He said immortality, real magic.
Mathias is just thinking in his head of what that could actually mean. He could finally progress. His show has been moderately successful, but to be able to perform something that nobody could even conceive of, let alone perform on stage.
Show that could never end. You meet Podrick at the Velvet Vixen the next night. Take him up on his offer. He warns you that the change may take some time, to meet him again 3 nights hence.
And is it gonna hurt?
More hurt the ego than the body.
What do you mean by that?
You'll see. 3 nights. That he plunges his fangs into your neck. 3 nights hence, you have awoken your usual self, although you feel a little stronger, a little more light on your feet. You return to the Velvet Vixen as requested, waiting for him to appear. You're there for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. When night falls, catch a glimpse of a trench coat and trilby disappearing into the crowd.
I think Mathias gets up and runs towards it, looking around to see where he went, if that was him.
You sprint out, no sign of him. In the back of your mind, maybe your ear, maybe you imagine it, there's just this whispered, "Sorry, kid." And it is gone.
I think he goes back to the bar, thinking maybe he's just late, maybe that was all in my head, and he waits the entire night until they close.
We run forward again. You are still performing, trying to make the most of this new condition you have. You're leaving a show with Georgia. She invites you to go whale watching next day, but you've been feeling hungry. Your usual spots are dead. You're roaming Seattle looking for something, anything you find. An apartment building, 4th floor light on, fire escape outside.
Mathias is going to look up at the fire escape, and he is going to move a trash can over to it and try and jump up onto the ladder.
Your hands are shaking. You were never the strongest in your platoon. You leap for the fire escape, but just barely smack the bottom rung of the ladder. Fall into a pile of trash bags, and you hear grunting underneath you. You land directly on top of the homeless man sleeping in the alley for the night.
I'm sorry.
He rises to his sitting position and kind of looks up. You see he's banged his head on something, and there's a trickle of blood running down the side of his face. Man, what the fuck do you want from me? I'm just trying to get some...
I think Mathias's hands are just shaking before he grabs the man by the shoulders and sinks his teeth into his neck.
Flash forward again. You're at your apartment, late night, Friday. You haven't been going out much. You haven't been seeing anyone. Feel panicked, afraid that any moment the police are going to knock down your door, or worse. Then, a knock. Georgia calls from outside your apartment door. Mathias, what are you doing? Are you in here? We have a show.
Nervous about everything that had happened. His hands are shaking. He's been held up in his apartment for days at this point. But knowing how determined she is, Mathias opens the door with the chain lock still in place and pokes his head out.
You see this younger woman, dark skin, high cheekbones, beautiful wavy hair pulled back in a ponytail.
Hi, Georgia. Haven't really been feeling great. I'm sorry I'm not going to make the show tonight.
Dove, what are you saying? It's the opening night. You have to be there. Come on. We'll get you some coffee on the way.
I can't.
She gives you the eye. You know she's not going to leave your door until you come out.
Sighing, Mathias undoes the chain latch and opens the door, but he heads further into the apartment.
He comes in, helps you take your things. At one point, picks up a letter opened on the kitchen table that you know is asking you to fire her, the next big step of your career. She kind of glances it over, sets it down before you're able to stop her, and helps you collect your things.
Georgia,
I know.
You know.
I know you wouldn't do that to me, Dove.
I made a promise.
She smiles and gives you a hug. We'll cut forward to the Prophecy Theater, where you're on stage performing your show. Lights, sounds, colors. Georgia in the magic box, cutting her apart, smoke and mirrors. But the hunger is rising within you. The attention, the spotlights. It's all too much. You feel them watching you. The eyes in the audience glinting like animals, giving way to tiny specks of multicolored light. The last act of your performance, it's time to release the dove.
It just goes white. Mathias sees nothing but white as there's this just ringing in his ears.
And from the back of the house, we see Mathias Wilson smiling, grinning, bearing pointed fangs, slip a dove out from his sleeve and bite into its breast, devouring it whole in front of hundreds.
Oh my god.
Holy
Jesus.
We'll jump forward one last time. You're in the back of a van trundling down the street as you come out of your fugue. There's an older woman sitting across from you, Korean, long black hair, hands steepled in front of her. And the second you show a hint of consciousness, she says, "Hey, you with me?
What happened? Where am I?
I need you to stay calm. You're safe. My name is Vivian. I'm going to take care of you, but I need you to tell me some things.
Okay.
Before anything else, I need to ask you one thing. What do you think the worst thing that could have happened was?"
Mathias's eyes dart back and forth before he just blurts out, "Is she okay? Is Georgia okay?"
Vivian grimaces. You got a long road ahead of you, kid.
No!
Jesus Christ.
No!
My man ate a bird?
I don't like birds either.
Holy
Is that the best or the worst magic trick? I really don't know.
Tunnel had a light, didn't go through the light, I fell out of the sky.
I just wish I could be a fucking nobody again.
Good evening, travelers, and welcome to the court, the Jester Princes. I am your storyteller, Jonas Tintenseher. We are playing Vampire the Masquerade V5 Midnight Gravity. Joining me tonight, our representative hipster, Seth Coveyou.
Huh? Is that a character dig or is that a me dig?
That is still a nickname for Bruja.
Oh, okay. All right. I like Timothy Foster.
Our representative young one, Casey Reardon.
I play Mathias Wilson, and are you thirsting for a Thurston fact?
I'm
I'm
thirsting for
thirsting for so
something.
much from you. Oh my
How
god.
many birds did Thurston eat?
Not much is written about Howard Thurston's relatives, but we do know that his brother Charles was murdered in
Oh.
February of 1920 while working as a railroad detective in Columbus. The murderer escaped after pumping 8 bullet holes into Charles's back.
I really thought you were going to say the murderer escaped after releasing a flock of doves to cover his departure.
That not real life isn't that cinematic.
Our representative dervish, Sky Swanson.
Hey, everybody. The world's largest ray is the giant manta ray with a wingspan up to 29 feet. That's 29 360ths of a football field. The second largest reef manta ray comes in only 15 feet. They both got their name from the Portuguese and Spanish words for mantle, coat, or blanket, which was a type of trap used to catch rays.
Oh, I love rays.
Reggie.
Our representative corpse, Andrew Frost.
My name is Antonio, and I'm Stregano. Hashtag Barbie.
Cause I'm just Tony.
Oh, okay. I didn't get it. I thought we were like beef stroganoff or something. And I'm sorry about this one, Rachel, but it is in the book. And our representative harlot, Rachel Kordell.
Oh my God.
Oof.
You know, it's not the worst thing that I've been called. I'm Mars, and tonight's song is God Only Knows by She and Him.
Ooh.
It's a cover.
I had a feud.
Last time on Midnight Gravity, our coterie stashed their staked prize and returned to their havens to process the night's events. Mathias discovered that Jimmy's synthetic blue vitae appears to be based on familiar alchemical formulae. Timothy had a run-in with the reclusive Kindred aboard the white yacht Megara's daughter. Antonio restocked his blood supply. Reggie penned a letter to their mom. And Mars told her bandmates and fellow planets about her encounter with the biphasic hyperreal galvanic reintegrative technophage. Come Saturday night, the coterie collected themselves and proceeded east of Seattle to attend the evening's gathering. Now, we have already rolled our rouse checks, and I assume someone tells Reggie, finds them, and tells them what's going on.
Probably me.
Yep. A couple people wanted to go hunting before Elysium, which is a good idea.
Yes, please.
It's rude to arrive hungry, so go ahead and roll your predator pools, those of you who wish to do so.
Yes, please.
Difficulty 5 in your domain.
Difficulty 5.
Yep.
Feels high.
Yeah, I agree.
I got a 5.
You got a 5. Well, Mars, you're only at 2 hunger, so you may slake 1 unless you really want to kill someone. Pull a Reggie.
No, absolutely not. Nope, that's fine with me.
Antonio, you may slake 1 hunger. Timothy, you may slake 1 hunger. Mathias, you may slake 1 hunger.
I would like to have sought out Phlegmatic on my hunt.
Oh, sure. Why don't you roll your Bloodhound check to see if you could have done that?
Yes. Resolve plus awareness. Difficulty 3. Help if I could read.
4 successes. You will find phlegmatic blood with, guess what, buddy? Another intense resonance.
Woo!
Wow.
I keep rolling those for you.
Oh, you'll love to
I
see
appreciate that.
You will lose the 2 dots you have in
Oh, yeah.
obfuscate.
I assume that those go away at
Yeah.
the end of the night anyway.
It lasts until next feeding, actually. So,
Oh, well, that's totally fine. I would prefer this for Elysium anyway.
great. Reggie, going in hot?
They're gonna drink one of those blue bags of blood.
Okay.
Oh, no. Reggie.
It has gone off, but because you have the Iron Gullet merit, I will allow it to slake 1 hunger for you. And you need to resist frenzy.
What?
Radical.
2 successes. Okay, that is the difficulty.
Well, I have 2 bags of blood, so let's do it again.
Okay, sure, you can do that. You can roll another frenzy resistance, and you can slake another hunger.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
And there is the failure. Reggie, as you drink this clotted, viscous vitae, the taste is much worse than the sterile medical tang that Timothy experienced. It is like ammonia. You have to force yourself to drink it down, knowing that the alternative will be worse. But as this blue vitae enters your system, your eyes narrow to pinpricks. The veins on your face and neck bulge slightly. And the beast is driven wild. Mars.
Mm-hmm.
You find Reggie by going to about where you thought they had crashed for the day,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear screaming.
Oh God. Okay, I am going to it.
You turn around 2 corners and you see Reggie is just literally stalking through the middle of the street. Their eyes are wild. They are hissing and snarling and looking for the nearest mortal to pounce on. People are kind of backing away, filming on their phones.
No.
And cars are stopped.
Ooh, filming on the phones? Not a
Yeah.
great look.
No, it's a bad look for sure.
Yeah. Well, okay. I walk up. I approach Reggie. Reggie is actively like pursuing slowly these people with their phones and stuff.
Yeah, Reggie's stalking towards someone like a prowling animal.
Like a moving. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go up behind them, grab their shoulders on the outside, and be like, okay, this way, and try to like pull them back.
Reggie, there is a fleshy hand on your shoulder.
Yep.
And it probably is full of blood.
We're gonna bite it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if hands get too close to Reggie's face, their usual reaction is to bite it, as we have seen.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll Strength Brawl versus Mars Dex Athletics. And either of you may Blood Surge if you wish to add 2 dice to your roll.
I think I'm going to.
This isn't how I expected this night to start, but that's fine.
That's okay.
I can blood surge? What is a blood surge?
Make a Rouse check and add 2 dice to your pool. 2 successes from Mars. Willpower?
I'm willpowering.
Oh, bad willpower.
Zoinks.
We'll blood surge. Yeah, I'm going crazy right now.
Yeah, you're in frenzy.
Oh no.
Cool.
Oh,
Mars,
boy.
you're going to
Not
take
great.
2 aggravated damage
Mm-hmm. Wow.
as
okay.
Reggie bites your wrist and starts trying to drain your blood.
Oh God, don't Diablerize now.
Now, the handy thing about a hunger frenzy is that it ends when you reach hunger 1. So I think tasting Mars's blood is enough to knock you out of the frenzy, Reggie. In the middle of a crowded street, biting Mars's arm, and there are people filming you.
Yeah, Reggie just kind of goes wide-eyed, like sees all these people filming them.
Mars lets out a yell like, come on! Reggie, come on!
And Reggie just sprints.
No!
They just full sprints away. They're little. You can probably keep up with them. if
Yeah,
you
no.
want.
Little
I'm
stubby
gonna-
legs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chase after them.
All right, yeah, you give chase. Eventually, I think, come upon a Reggie in an alley or down a corner.
Yeah, down an alleyway, they're kind of like they're like hiding behind a dumpster, just like full fetal position, hugging their little backpack.
How much blood was slaked off of me, as in how much more hungry am I?
Well, Reggie didn't actually slake any hunger off of you. I think because they're at 1. So I'm going to
Okay.
be generous and leave you with the 2 ag damage.
Well, thanks. Okay.
Yeah, generous.
A generous 2 ag. We love agriculture here.
I approached Reggie. I'm like, hey, are you okay? Come on.
This fucking sucks. Just kind of like look up at you, like
I
full,
like
like,
am
crying.
clenching my arm, which is just like, it's not actively bleeding, is it? What's the situation
Yeah, it is.
there?
Of course it is.
Okay, cool. No,
Yeah, Reggie like opens up their backpack and be like, what happened? What happened to you?
You bit me.
I bit you?
Yes, you bit me.
Oh god. Oh, this
Can I do
fucking
something to stop it
sucks.
from actively bleeding out?
Reggie has a bandage.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's used.
Yep.
But it worked.
Oh, God.
Can't
Thank
get
you.
infected.
Okay. We gotta go.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, get in the car. Just-
Reggie follows along, gets in the car.
We're gonna stop by a CVS or something to get a proper bandage wrap for this.
That feels like an appropriate start to Reggie's night.
Not mine though.
No, it's rough for you. So
Very.
we will all gather. The Elysium is the tradition by which all kindred operate. A neutral ground called by the prince or ruling baron of a region where vampires, regardless of faction, may congregate to discuss trade news and make negotiations and deals. Tonight, Elysium is being held at the Castellan Estate, a large manor in the foothills east of Seattle, in Issaquah. It is a reclusive, modern design, tucked away up in the hills, surrounded by forests, pine forests. In particular, the Castellan estate is the domain and home of a coterie of kindred known as the Castellans, who sort of operate as a found family as part of their mortal disguises. Cars park on the street and in the large circular driveway. Many of the city's wealthier kindred have taken ride shares, taxis, limousines, and are dropped off in the porte cochere. And who gets there first? Mathias, probably.
Yeah.
Mathias arrives in a black suit and is immediately clocked by Sophia Reza, the herald, who just kind of tilts her head toward the side room where the rest of the Thin Bloods are waiting.
And nod and just go without a word.
Who's second?
I was gonna say Reggie and I are a little delayed.
Yep. Antonio, perhaps?
Yeah, probably Antonio with
Probably Antonio and
trunk.
Timothy at the same time.
Sure. Yeah, you guys roll up together. Makes sense.
Now, for Andrew's sake, the Jimmy situation.
Yeah.
Is that like, am I just flopping him out at Elysium? Or
There will be a moment during the proceedings where you are asked to bring him forward.
okay.
Actually, no. In fact, I think Sophia Reza sees that and is like, is that Mr. McKinley?
Yeah, it would be.
Please deliver him to the salon. Sheriff Callahan will take him from you.
Kindly.
As the two of you enter, Sophia also makes notes on her little tablet that she has, like Antonio Stregano, Clan Hecata, Timothy Foster, Clan Bruja, and Jamie McKinley, Clan Nosferatu. And then, yes, Mars and Reggie arrive quite late. Mars, your bandmates are probably already there.
Yeah, I actually tell Reggie to hang out in the car first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
As-
idea. I don't really think I should go in there.
Well, you're going to need to, but just hang tight. We'll come and get you, okay?
Okay.
It'll be better if we all go in as a group, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Mars, you go up.
I go up and I lock the car.
Yeah, immediately
Bob.
as you turn around and walk like 5 feet away, you just hear the door.
Child safety lock is on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They're okay. The AC's on. They're listening to their favorite
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. It's got like a dog mode, like
Yeah, it
Teslas
starts
have.
automatically playing bird noises and Reggie
No.
has a panic attack.
Yeah, okay. So I go in, I look for Mathias or Antonio or Timothy, just, like
Yeah, the four of you can gather for sure.
Yeah,
There's people are still arriving. Like there's some space to this. The building, the mansion itself, opens into a foyer with a spiral staircase, one of those double winged staircases leading up to the second floor. There's dining, offices, and then around the staircase is the grand salon where people seem to be mainly gathering.
That's a lot of faces.
That's a lot of
Oh
faces.
my god. Jonas has put forth a map in front of us that has 60 tokens on it, and they all have individual faces. There's no repeats, so it's just all fucking real characters.
I told you I put more work into this game than I have anything else in the last 3 years.
Everyone choose one. You get to fight it.
no.
And Jonas will let us know if we would win or not.
But I say to them, I'm like, so Reggie's in the car. I have to meet with the band, but we should bring her in because, they're gonna check her at the door. I just feel like going in with a group would be better.
Yeah, should we get Vivian?
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea.
They might be predisposed. I don't.
Yeah,
I'll do some looking. I'll see what I can see.
sure. We find Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian's not hard to find. Vivian's in the Grand Salon right now with the other Primogen. You see a Nosferatu, a sort of middle-aged man, an older woman with a big bush of curly hair, the white streak in it, and Asher Wheatley, the Toreador Primogen, are all kind of in a circle chatting.
Are we able to approach?
Yeah, you can approach. There's not business happening yet.
Okay. So Vivian, the Malkavian that we know is here.
Oh, they're coming. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
They are outside.
Great. Glad they could make it. One sec, everyone. She dismisses herself on the Primogen. She'll join you guys outside. She whispers something to Sophia Reza as they pass. And, yeah, she'll come out to the car.
I unlock it.
Reggie is like is trying to pry loose the sunroof right now. Doesn't hear you guys coming up.
You just hear the car unlock.
Has their arm like out of the sunroof, like just trying to wedge it open, and he just kind of like turns, looks over, like his arm is stuck in the sunroof, has to turn over his shoulder and look at you and be like, "Huh, hey, I thought I heard something on the roof."
Hey, Reggie, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember me? My name is Vivian.
I think
We
yeah.
spoke the other night about Jimmy.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was blanking on your name.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd like you to come inside if that's okay.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of people in there, and I'm not exactly supposed to be around other vampires.
Which is why I'm here. And also, Kindred, please.
Bless you.
She'll kind of try to gently guide you out of the car. And she
helps unwedge my arm.
Yeah, she'll
I look at it. I'm gonna need to get that fixed.
Jeez. And okay, yes, but I'm not dressed for the occasion, so
That's
I better.
fine, Reggie.
There's a Marshalls down the way. Even in 2027, great deals.
The agenda is starting soon. We have to get inside. Listen, just stay with your friends and don't say anything, okay?
Usually don't.
Great. Vivian guides you inside. Sophia does not seem to clock.
Good night.
Reggie?
Gonna be a good night. Good night.
I go to my band.
Marshalls, really? When you roll with the coterie, you're rolling with Maxinistas, baby. Come on.
Mars, you go to hang out with Mercury and Venus.
Yes.
Reggie, you stick with Antonio and Timothy.
Yeah, Reggie is trying to make themselves as small as possible next time.
Mm-hmm.
That's not hard because you're small.
You're pretty
I'm
small.
tiny.
You're
And
big.
Reggie just is like clinging to their backpack in front of them. He's got the full backpack kid vibe right now.
At one point, Reggie, you do see a 20, 30 something man with a square jaw, shaved sides of his head.
Nah.
Spots you, narrows his eyes, and just keeps walking through the house.
That would send Reggie into a full panic attack.
Sure.
Like, unable to breathe, would just be like wide-eyed, would not be able to move.
Sure. So Reggie is frozen in place as more kindred gather. Timothy, at one point you see Evelyn arrive with her two coterie mates, Hemlock and Oleander.
Oh, he made it out. That's good.
Made it out of the sprawl. Good for him. And by the end of the night, or not by the end of it, by 10 p.m., there are something like 40 to 50 kindred who have gathered in the Grand Salon. But it truly seems like every kindred in Seattle has come. Even Pox is here. It seems everyone took the warning seriously that if you don't attend, you'll be under investigation. Any other last-minute conversations before the official proceedings begin?
Yes.
Yep.
I go over to Pox.
Pox, sure. Pox is hiding in a corner somewhere, much like Reggie.
Hey, we found Jimmy.
Yeah. I figured. I mean, you guys didn't die, so.
No. He, whatever happens, I think he would want you to know that he's sorry.
Did he tell you that, or are you just being nice? That doesn't sound like Jimmy.
No, he said a lot of hurtful things, but I think when he realized that his number was up.
He kind of nods, picks at her lip again, strips another bit of flesh off her face. Says, hey, thanks, Timothy. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling the truth when I say he'll get what's coming to him. That's fine, but I do appreciate that.
More importantly, we got his computer.
Fuck yes. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna crack the shit out of that thing.
Yeah. I don't know who has it though.
I think Mathias.
I don't think I have it.
Mathias
Did have it, yeah. Okay. Mathias, who are we talking to?
Matthias would like to talk to Cassandra.
Yeah. So Mathias, you approach the other Thin Bloods, there are 5 of you regulars in Seattle. Probably more out there somewhere, but none that have been branded and allowed to attend Camarilla events. You see, among the 5 of them, there is Cassandra Brahm, your contact with the Olympian conjecture. She is a younger woman, college age, lighter brown skin, and long braided hair that kind of flows off her head like a willow tree. Skinny, kind of petite, round features. All of the Thin Bloods are dressed in like black formal wear, where the rest of the Kindred are much more casual and colorful. And she approaches and probably gives you a hug, like a friendly collegiate hug.
Yeah.
And says, Mathias, oh, God, everything has been absolutely crazy the last 2 nights. How are you doing? Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. And he kind of like ushers her away from the others for the time being.
Sure.
Not that he doesn't trust them, but it's also away from the door that all of the other Kindred are on the other side of. And he says, listen, I don't know if you know this or if the conjecture does it all, but somebody cracked it.
What are you talking about?
And he like leans in close and just whispers, artificial vitae.
You know what? Before I describe a reaction, Mathias, why don't you go ahead and roll intelligence insight?
Great. Love that. I have so much insight. I don't have that bad insight. 4.
4 successes?
That's pretty good.
You see something like recognition in her face, but there is also genuine surprise. I guess I would describe that as kind of like a shocked expression that it reads more as like, that's not what I know about that. I know something else about that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And she's like, heard a fish? What do you found some? What, in the sprawl? Like, what's going on? What are you talking about?
I'd rather not get into too much detail here, but yes.
Shit, okay. Well, I'll put the word around. Is there anything else you guys found that you want to share? Just something that could be helpful?
A lot of different people seem to be looking for this thing called the Oculus.
Oculus.
And apparently there's a key.
Yeah. No, the words come up.
It seems to me like whoever comes into possession of this is going to have a lot of power, whatever it is.
She's nodding. Man. Great if it was us, right? Oculus.
Doesn't necessarily have to be us. It just has to be the right people.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, you just dropped a couple bombs on me, and I was not expecting all that.
Take some time to process. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Eyes on us, obviously. I don't think anyone actually believes we could have killed the prince, but, scapegoat's a scapegoat, so...
Yeah, there's perks to being underestimated, I guess.
Look, keep that to yourself. If you can. That's leverage.
Well, keep as much quiet as you can, too. We don't know who's in whose pocket.
All right. It's good to see you, Mathias. I'm glad you're here.
You too.
He claps you on the shoulder. Mars.
Mars weaves her way through the crowd to her band. Hi, sorry I'm late.
Mercury says, It's okay. Notices the bandage. Are you good? What was that? Did you get into a fight? Or?
No, it's fine. Just Reggie. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. How's the scope?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Elliot and Felix are here, of course. She glances over, you see the most beautiful man in the world, the thick, pointed beard, and standing next to him, a somewhat younger-looking, baby-faced blonde man in a long coat. And Mercury's like, but they haven't approached us or anything, so we're fine.
Good. I was hoping that at least wouldn't have happened before I got here. Okay, cool. That's it, yeah.
Okay, great. Everyone gathers in the grand salon. Again, this huge collection of kindred from all across the city and beyond the city boundaries. The Primogen of Seattle gather in front of the windows leading out to the veranda. And Sophia Reza is like checking her tablet, making sure everyone's here. She kind of speaks and goes, Granch, where's Podrick? And the Nosferatu Primogen, this bulbous-headed, rat-faced man, says, Pod's on official business for me. He's out of town. I vouched for him. And you hear Vivian mutter, he's always on official business. Sophia keeps checking, goes, all right, is anybody else? Where's the old man? Stregano. Where's Rossellini?
I thought he'd be here.
Noted. And any representatives from Megar's daughter? No. Typical. Closes the tablet, steps away, and Sheriff Raleigh Callahan steps forward. This older, sort of tan-skinned man with short white hair and a big bushy white mustache has popped Jimmy out of the metal crate and kind of set him up in a kneeling position in the center of the semicircle of Primogen. And he says, "Gathered, kindred of Seattle, thank you all for joining us at such short notice. Unfortunately, before we can discuss the matter of succession that we are also interested in, there is another matter that must be taken care of. Jimothy McKinley embraced the what is it called again?" And Vivian leans toward her and goes, K-pop star. The K-pop star known as Seo-jun Sun. Did I get that right? Yes. Thank you. Unlawfully, in what amounts to, I suppose, a fit of unfortunate passion. Now, Mr. McKinley attempted to flee his rightful punishment and was apprehended by these 5 kindred. If you would come forward, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Stregano, Mr. Foster, Miss Glamorgan, and the little one.
Make our way forward.
I do that.
Push my way through the crowd.
Reggie,
Reggie is still unable to move and is has not been listening. In their head is just a loud, flatline sound, basically. And their own just heavy breathing as the world is just folding around them.
you do feel Antonio's hand kind of put itself on the base of your back.
I think if you just push Reggie
Yeah.
will walk without even realizing it.
Yeah. He's not forcing, but he's walking you along.
Yeah.
Callahan gestures at the 5 of you and says, "These 5 have apprehended the criminal and been promised a boon by Primogen O in return for their service. Thank you, Primogen O." And there's just a small smattering of golf applause. Do the 5 of you have anything you wish to say in defense of Mr. McKinley or to ameliorate his crimes?
I do.
Very well.
I think Mathias just looks at you like, what are you doing?
There's no excuse for what Jimmy did. We all know that. It was an outright breach of the masquerade. A stupid one as well. But it should be taken into consideration that if not for Jimmy's work on ShrekNet, the Week of Nightmares could have destroyed everything we've built. I'm not saying that should excuse him from due punishment, but I believe it should be brought into consideration. There is penance that can be paid. I don't believe final death would be a fitting end. I feel like there are other things that could be taken in consideration.
Now, unfortunately, Antonio has 1 dot in charisma and none in persuasion.
You're right.
You go ahead and roll your 1 dot in charisma. You can blood surge if you want.
I think I will. I'll blood search for Jimmy.
I would.
Okay, well, I got the success. I'm not hungry.
Okay, don't get hungrier.
All right.
3 dice.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Antonio, the gangly, long, bald, hitman-looking, ice-cold vampire motherfucker just seems ever so slightly more charming as he calls on his vitae to enhance his speech, and unfortunately rolls 0 out of 3
And
successes.
then we'll willpower to make
Wow.
it 3 successes.
You can't. Those are hunger dice. You get 1 success.
Oh no!
You can only get
shit.
1.
Well, I can get 1 success.
Do you want to get the 1 success? Do
I'll
you
get
want
the
to
1
leave,
success.
leave your willpower? Okay. With 1 success, I think you are not laughed out of the room. And instead, Sheriff Callahan kind of raises his eyebrows and looks at the Primogen and says, "I have heard the vote of the Primogen Council, and with no prince to give the order, it falls to me as sheriff to make the final decision. ShrekNet is dead. Mr. McKinley failed us In a time of crisis, the sentence is final death.
I understand.
And he produces a large basket-hilted broadsword, steps back, and lops off Jimmy's head. One sickening motion. It is swift and clean, but you still hear the crackle of his wax-like flesh as the blade passes through his neck, severing vertebrae in the brainstem, ending the connection between the head and the heart that drives the vampire's unlife.
Mars winces.
Jimmy falls, slumped over to the floor. No last words for Mr. McKinley. His body quickly shrivels up into a rotten skeleton, with just a few bits of meat hanging off the bones.
Antonio knew that was how it was going to end, but he couldn't go back on the word.
Two of the other Thin Bloods are called to remove the body from the salon. Mathias, you are excused this duty since you're one of the people standing up there.
Yep.
And then Evelyn steps forward and says, "Excuse me. Hi. None of you know who I am. Like to keep it that way. I helped. What do I get?" Sheriff Callahan looks at her. Eyebrows raised, looks at the five of you to confirm.
I shake my hand in an iffy kind of way.
So. One of the other Primogen, the older woman with the streak of white in her hair, steps forward. She's wearing this long, deep purple dress, and she has a very severe, dour expression on her face. She says, "Well, what do you want for helping?" And Evelyn says, "Well, seems like a lot of whispers going around here. No one wants to talk about it, but I think I want what everyone here wants. I want the Oculus." And
Rhubarb.
Rabble.
There is a hush that goes around the room as some people seem to recognize it, but not everyone. There's a good chunk of the Kindred, probably more than half, that are just like, okay, what the fuck is that?
Can I just take a quick look to see recognition? And like the Kindred who are like set alert by that?
Sure. You can roll wits awareness, Mars, yes?
I want to just note the reaction of Elliot and Felix.
You can look to them. I think they're too hard to read. I think you know that they are very good at keeping poker faces.
That hasn't stopped me before.
So you can roll, but you'll need a very high result.
2 success.
Antonio, you see a few, like all of the Primogen none of the Primogen seem surprised. A couple scattered in the crowd. Some of the La Sombra and the Nosferatu know about it. Leslie, of course, has heard from Mathias.
3 successes.
3 successes. I think you see maybe Elliot tilts his head, but you don't have a good sense of what that means.
Okay.
I want to make eye contact with Vivian and shake my head, indicating that is a bad idea with Evelyn. Just like shut it down.
Honestly, she appreciates that. Vivian steps forward and she says, "I made my deal with these 5. If you helped, you made a deal with them. I don't owe you anything, and neither does anyone else here. Sit down." And Evelyn kind of like holds her hands up again, like obviously upset, but not going to make a fuss right now. She's like, standing room only, but okay.
I smirk.
In that case, Miss Artemievna, and the woman with the white streak in her hair steps forward and says, "If that business is concluded, then we gather to speak of the death of Prince Cross. Now, under normal circumstances, one of us among the council would claim Praxis as interim prince, though someone would claim the city for themselves. But there are whispers going around indeed, and we as of yet have no leads on who brought about Cross's final death or why. So, until the matter has been resolved and we can be certain there will be no further attacks on Kindred territory, the Primogen Council will rule as a voting bloc with Sheriff Callahan's enforcement for assistance." Are there any objections to this arrangement? And she looks and says that with the countenance of someone who will accept no objections. And a couple people grumble and roll, and you hear Thank you. A couple people turn, their gazes shift to a late 30s woman with reddish hair, a beautiful smile, and a rather large bust.
Myself included.
That those of you would know as the ex-prince, Lou Grand. But she says nothing. She simply smiles and stays with her little entourage. And Primogen Artemievna then nods and says, "Very well then. That is all the objections that have been raised. And we may proceed with..." And as she's doing this, there is a flash of thunder and lightning outside, a sudden storm descending on the Castellan estate, and the doors to the grand salon are flung open.
Ooh.
And in walk two figures that Antonio knows very well.
Oh no!
Oh, boy.
No!
Who has pearls? I want to clutch them.
Not really my style right now.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Why are they arriving like that, Jonas? Why so dramatic, Jonas?
You all see two more kindred enter. An ancient-looking man with something of a gut and a jolly face. Definitely could be a mall Santa if he had more of a beard. Antonio, you know this to be your mentor, Dante Rossellini.
Oh, what a great name.
And he is accompanied by a much, much younger woman, pale of face, piercing of eye, with long, straight black hair, who you know as your mother.
What?
Ooh.
Rosalina Stregano.
What?
Oh, boy.
The crowd kind of parts to allow a sightline from the Primogen to these new arrivals. Dante looks honestly a little bit nervous. He's like, he kind of catches your eye, Antonio, through your sunglasses, and just gives you a look like, oh, we are in it now. And Rosalina steps forward. She's wearing this very well-tailored dark navy suit with little flare on the hemline. And she steps forward and says, "I am sorry for our tardiness. Please forgive us. We couldn't decide who to send as envoy to this little gathering. Have we already discussed the death of the prince?" And the Primogen all scowl. Olga narrows her brows. Says, "The matter has been resolved. What does Clan Hikata wish to interject at our Elysium?" And Antonio, your mother, says, "Well, we may have some information that can enlighten you as to the death of your prince. We'd like to make a trade."
Shit.
Eyes wide.
And Olga, her eyes turn to tiny little slits. She looks back at the Primogen Council. They make a quick little huddle. The crowd again rabbles and rabbles. And then they call over Sheriff Callahan and whisper something to him. He steps forward and says, "This Elysium is hereby adjourned. All kindred are to return to their havens and await notice from Herald Reza with regard to further proceedings. Thank you all for your attendance. Your presence has been noted and no demerits have been earned. Good night." With that, the gathered crowd starts to disperse.
I think before we head out, I kind of want to try and catch Vivi's eye.
She gives you an enigmatic look that could mean anything from "you're in deep shit" to "you have saved the night."
Great.
Love that. Love not knowing anything. Great.
Wow. Okay.
I think at this point it's Antonio's feet that are glued to the ground rather than Reggie's.
Dude, is that your mom?
She's hot. Look at that jawline.
Yeah.
There is a common feeling to the way that they hold themselves and the pale, corpse-like tint to their skin.
Are we being asked to leave with everybody else, I assume?
Yeah, no, they want the Primogen and the Hekata only. Are being asked to stay.
Yeah, and I leave.
Oh.
I mean, I'm a kata. I mean, rebel.
You don't count.
I know.
Yeah, no, she's got something going on. You got your thing, and I can see a little bit over there. She doesn't have your thing.
Rosalina will stop you, Antonio, as you either head out or someone tries to pull you out. She just kind of catches your arm and says, Tonio, good evening. Have you thought about what I've said? The time to make a decision is getting closer.
We'll talk later.
We will.
You have important business to discuss.
Thank you, Tonio. He pats your shoulder and lets you go.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, okay.
And I just make direct eye contact with Dante. The sunglasses at this point are in his hands.
Okay.
Of just like sheer what the fuck dude.
Dante has a similar expression.
And I think just after a couple, I would say quadruple takes of just looking at the two of them and then the Primogen Council and back and forth, he just walks straight out. Doesn't wait for this coterie, just walks.
Oh, Mathias is already gone.
Yep.
Understandably.
Mars on the way out. Timothy, Reggie.
I think Reggie's still frozen.
I was actually gonna say I think I'm starting to kind of shuffle out with the band, but I catch Reggie and I go, hold on, I'll catch up with you guys later. And I grab Reggie. I'm like, come on, we're going.
As soon as you grab Reggie, you hear them whisper under her breath, "A face is known, yet I dare not cross, for these rocky legs are at a loss. There it is whispered, that old idiom. The hand does not move without Elysium." And then they just kind of like snap at it. Yeah, the second two lines, Reggie's head like snaps towards you, looking directly at you as they say that last part. And then they just kind of like, not even shake out of it. They just kind of blink and they're just like, "Here we go."
Yeah, that startles her and she's like, yeah, we gotta go now. Come on.
Okay, good. Did they say my name?
No, actually they didn't.
Yes. And Reggie like just quickly gets out of there.
And Timothy.
Wait up, Antonio. Hey, come on. Does she have like
Just
a number or something?
Keeps walking.
Tony's mom has got it going on.
Wow.
Come on, guys.
Real mature.
Sorry.
I think Antonio, he's sitting in his car and Timothy hops in. And after a few seconds of silence, while not looking at him, just staring off into the night, says,
The man who was with my mother is probably the most powerful kindred in that room. And he was not in control of this situation.
What?
What?
That's so scary. That's fucking awful.
What you? Is he like? He's like an old one.
Yeah, he's been around. I don't know what this means. I don't like it, but I don't know what it means.
Do they have a Hekata that they're holding on to?
Not to my knowledge.
So it's more of this Oculus stuff.
Do you know much about Clan Nakata?
Oh, absolutely nothing. Buddy, I gotta get reminded about my own clan.
Clan Nakata is only a few decades old. There is a change in the blood for countless clans. Something isn't right. And it's all just falling into place now. This is bad, Timothy.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. What do you want to do about it? I mean...
Nothing I can. Nothing any of us can. This is out of our wheelhouse. It's not even close to our wheelhouse.
Speaking of wheelhouse, I saw this killer yacht the other night.
The Mega Aristata.
Yeah, that's it. How'd you know that?
There are things at play that are beyond me. I've been in Seattle a very long time. I think we should go.
Yeah, Antonio, do you want to start the car?
All right. Yeah. Everyone splits up, heads to their homes, their havens. It's only like 11:30 max. Like, actually, no, proceedings were going to start at 10, so it's like 10:30. Like, Elysium typically would last all night. There's room for chatting, negotiation, but it has been cut short. So everyone heads home. Mathias to your apartment or the prop theater. Antonio to your mortuary. Timothy, you can get back in your van. Mars, do you drop Reggie off somewhere? Or
yeah, I'm not gonna let, like, if Reggie wants to get dropped off somewhere, I'm going to make it so she's comfortable. Like,
Yeah, I don't think Reggie would want to go back to, like, the bar or anything like that. They would not want to be in that kind of environment after what happened.
yeah, that's probably where the Furies are going, so...
Yeah, so I think at some point it's just kind of awkward and quiet, and then Reggie's just like, you just let me out here. It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's a park down the way. And sometimes they, random people do yoga there. I'm not gonna do yoga. I don't know why I mentioned it. I'm not,
That's okay.
Just, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, you can just drop me here. And Reggie is, like, already opening the car door
Hold on,
while it's still in motion.
No, it slows down, and like, okay, here you go.
Sorry. I'm a bit all over the place.
That's okay. Text me if you need anything, okay?
Yeah.
Call, whatever.
I gotta get a new phone. This one's out of minutes. So I'll try and do that. Yeah. And yeah, Reggie gets out of the car, and before closing the door, he kind of pokes his head back in and he goes, thanks Mars, for early, and sorry about your hand.
Oh.
I don't have any way of repaying you, but thanks.
All good. I'll see you later, okay?
Just kind of gives a little smile and then just heads off.
Okay.
Forgets to close the car door.
And she reaches across and pulls it closed.
Yep. You head back to meet up with your band. Reggie,
Oh, I thought we were gonna follow Mars. Don't come after me.
you get about 20 steps down the street
Joyous.
when you trip
Comes the bird. Here comes the bird.
on the sidewalk.
Ah, fast.
Fall and scrape your palms.
Ow.
You look back,
Ah.
realize there was nothing to trip over. Except the shadow of a street lamp.
Oh no.
He kind of squints a little bit and then just kind of looks around. It's just like, okay. Still a little clumsy.
Pick yourself up, and you hear a voice emanating from the
Oh.
alley next to you.
Hate that.
It says, Malk, in here.
I recognize the voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie, as they're walking over to the alley, pulls out their little notebook, flips back a lot in it to an old kind of, or actually, I guess they don't got to flip that far back. They actually open up pretty early in the notebook, and they just they kind of point to it and they go, ghost?
Ghost
Yeah, isn't that what I said? Ghost?
does not reveal herself.
Oh, alright. Sorry, I thought you were talking. Guess I hear it, thanks. Add it to the list. Hey, you.
The darkness simply resonates with this low, raspy, feminine voice. Not the book. Not tonight. Meant to talk at Elysium. We got a job for you.
Yay.
Next month,
Okay.
there's an auction.
Auction.
You're going to be there.
She's writing everything down in a little notebook.
We'll be in touch. Send someone to find you. Make sure your whole little group is together when they find you.
Okay. Could I know why?
Protection.
Okay. Oh.
You'll need it.
Oh.
And then the weight of the darkness in the alleyway seems to lessen. And a black raven descends from above.
Ah!
Timothy, you go back to the mortuary with Antonio. Where are you headed after that?
I think I'm gonna get in my van and park it in front of the Magnolia house.
Okay, in front of Fox's hacker cave?
Yeah.
You park in front, turn it off. Waiting maybe for Maud to speak up. A light comes on in the window of the building. You know Pox isn't here.
Can I kind of stalk around to see if I can sneak in the back?
I mean, I won't even make you roll. You just do that with your stealth pool. You have a break-in specialty, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you creep in the back. The light is coming from the second floor, the attic, which I'd probably have never even been in this house.
I am going to activate Silence of Death.
And
I'm going to creep up the stairs.
Depressing, creaky old wooden steps that make no noise with each footfall. The light shining down from up above, come around a circular stairway, pass through a cobweb and brush it out of your face. Spider hits the ground and skitters down the stairs behind you. You rise to the top. The attic is dusty, full of old boxes, discarded coat racks, mannequins, a broken television set. On the far side, facing away from the street, a circular window, an oculus. Silhouetted in the window, by the lone electric light swinging overhead, is a figure in a hooded coat. They do not seem to have heard you.
Who are you?
The figure starts. You see their shoulders jump up, that they were put off by that sudden sound. Turn. Jesus. They turn. They see you. Timothy. That's you, right?
Who's asking?
Figure reaches up and pulls the hood down. And as though enchanted to hide their face, the shadow lifts. The hood falls, revealing another woman with round facial features, warm brown skin tone, bright eyes that gleam in the light of that one electric bulb. A big, messy mop of curly black hair spills out from the hood as it is released. A face that you recognize from some ancient lifetime long ago. And she raises her hands, and Lila says, I know it's been a while, Timothy, and there's a lot to explain. Things are moving fast. I need your help.
Girl, we are in such deep shit. I swear to God.
She laughs. She comes up. She kind of claps your shoulder. She says, hey, it's good to see you again.
You say that now,
Yeah.
but you know what? You're gonna be in for a bad surprise.
I think you're more right than you know. I know you're looking for the Oculus.
There's lots of people looking for the Oculus.
I'm one of them.
Right. Okay. I've already found the Oculus.
You see confusion and delight spread across her face. Tell me that's not a mean prank.
No, I fell out of the sky. It was pretty much the Oculus, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Then we have a head start.
Ish.
You can only ask once, Timothy. You in? Will you help me? I know there's a lot you don't know. I'll explain what I can. But I need you to go in on this with me. On trust. She holds out a hand.
You know, I haven't spoken to you in like, what, a decade?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I got lost.
Fuck it, I'm in.
Yay.
And so closes another chapter of Midnight Gravity.
Holy shit.
God
Thank you
damn.
all for listening.
Oh my god.
Thank you all for playing.
I needed it.
Some nutty stuff.
Have a no, Plugmaster. I was gonna say
Have a
happy
merry
holiday.
Christmas.
What are you
talking about?
Santa was on my
It's
mind.
Mother's Day.
I think this is coming out in January. Yeah. Plugmaster?
It's me, the Plug Master.
Hi, Plug Master.
Hi, I'm coming in to do my one job, and my voice changed a little bit, and I'm gonna go with it. The first to plug today will be Jonas.
That Adderall is really working, Plug
Did
Master.
you call me Junis?
I said Jonas. I put a little bit.
Plug Master, you can't say that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, Abraham. Fuck.
Tintenseher. Itch.io, Linktree, YouTube. Check me out. Thanks.
Thank you for the plug, Jonas. Rachel,
Hi.
you may plug now.
Okay. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Majora's Rose. My personal stuff at Rachel Kordell. I'll do the TikTok. Follow on TikTok too.
Yay.
Oh,
Yay.
Yeah.
very good, Rachel. Casey, would you like to plug?
I would love to plug Master. Thank you. You can check out my social medias at Casey Reardon. I don't post a ton there, but when I do, it's sometimes good.
Stop. Lie. Say that you post all the time and you'll attract more followers that way.
But I don't, and then they'll be disappointed in me. And I
They'll follow
can't
you.
deal with disappointment.
Oh, bad news, bud.
What?
Oh, yeah. Good plug. So what did Jennifer Coolidge?
No.
Sorry.
None of that now. Stop that. Stop it, Plug Master.
Thank you, Casey. Sky, do you have a plug? No, that's okay. Andrew, do you have a plug? Andrew, do you have a plug?
You rat-faced bastard, Plug
Oh.
Master.
This betrayal. I don't. Should I plug? I don't know. I feel like I'm getting in the middle of something, but
This
When
is
the
a
plug master
knife,
lets you
Andrew.
plug. I must accept the burden. You like this podcast? You like listen to our fun little voices in your ear holes? Why not leave a review? I mean, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the RSS directly. I don't know how you can access that. Maybe it's just there.
I mean, you can access
Maybe
it
you can
directly.
tune your consciousness into the RSS and become all
Only
podcasts.
we can access the R's.
That's not true. I've given out the codes. It was a part of the GoFundMe.
Oh, well, you heard it here first, folks. Leave a review. We like hearing from you.
Did you do it? Did you? Good job. Good job, Andrew. Appreciate
Good
you.
job,
Thank you.
Andrew.
Thank you.
Good night,
They don't
Andrew.
let me plug a lot, so
And
I
so-
don't, I'm
Bed.
very inexperienced.
Go to
I
bed,
have
Andrew.
died again.
Good night.
No,
Good
No.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
For sense of freedom, we
night.
Indians.
Oh God. What does that sound? It's the worst.
I'm so plugged.